Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a breakdown and analysis of the recent Poltergeist Activity video that I posted. There were just a couple of small details in there that I think some of you may have missed. There were a few of you talking about it in the comments, so you did notice some of it. But I did just want to bring them to your attention in case you did miss them. And there's also a couple of things that I've noted about the timing of this activity, because it's been a long time since I caught things moving around in this fashion, at least to this level of activity. So I thought it was interesting, and I took note of a few things that have been going on this week that could have contributed to it, and I just wanted to go into detail about that as well. So jumping straight in with the first thing that I noticed, then there is actually an orb that kind of, when the first cupboard door on the right hand side opens, like by the handle you actually see like what looks like an orb come zipping from right to left. Now it's only small and it's very faint. It kind of looks like it's coming either away from the cupboard or out of it in the way it moves. And there's not much to say about it. It is just an orb, or it could even be dust from the cupboard door opening, but I did think it was interesting and at least worth pointing out in case you missed it. And then the second thing, and this is the one that I cannot actually explain, and I'm just going to point it out to you because there are a few skeptics out there that think this is me behind the scenes pulling strings. But down in the bottom left, where the fridge meets this metal pole, and it's quite a reflective metal pole, but it holds up the side counter. So between there is sort of a flash of white on two occasions during the video. The first one kind of goes from right to left, I believe, and then a little bit closer to the end, there is one that goes from left to right. Now, I've actually looked at this, and I've gone downstairs, and I've tried to debunk it, and I can't for the life of me think what has caused it. Now, as a channel, I do believe we've gone past me trying to prove that I am not the one pulling the strings. Generally, I stopped trying to prove that a long time ago, and now I just want to bring the content and let you guys watch it. But on this one occasion, I just want to point out the direction in which these objects are actually moving, because I think that's significant. The only places I could have hid if I wanted to pull strings and make these objects move around is either to the left by the back door, behind the camera. In fact, I can't even get behind the camera. The camera's up against the wall, but sort of hypothetically, it's behind the camera, like really low on the floor, right below the camera, or off to the side in the living room. Now that leaves me limited areas to actually pull the strings. Like everything would have to come towards the camera, basically. But if you just look at the bottle on the left-hand side, that is moving sort of diagonally across the counter, and then it starts to move away, so it's actually changed direction in its movement. So I can't think how I would do that. Secondly, you look at the cupboards. Each cupboard is opening in a different direction, so the force would have to come from a different direction to do it. It can't always be coming towards the camera. Like it's not possible. There's nowhere from it hide the strings that would do that. And not only that, but the first door on the right hand side actually goes back and forth a little bit before it stops. So that's pretty much all I can say. Here's a diagram that I've made that has like arrows pointing in the directions I think the force would need to be in order to open them cupboards. Okay, so now that that's done, jumping in with some of the things that I noticed that might have contributed to it. The first thing is that, as you know, I've got a new spirit box device that I've been playing with, and I've been trying to experiment with it, not doing like big sessions, inviting lots of spirits in or anything like that, just talking through it to see what sounds good, what gets good communication. But the thing is, because I've done it a lot in small little sessions, it's possible that I have actually attracted a few spirits in who have come to actually communicate, but haven't had their opportunity yet, so they're kind of sticking around for the next possible chance. So that's a possibility. I can't, you know what I mean, no matter how careful I am, I can't help it if that happens. The second thing is, over in the UK this week, it's actually been a heat wave, and the theory is that the reason a room goes cold when a spirit is nearby is because they're actually drawing the energy from the temperature in the room, so like drawing the heat and using that as energy, which is what makes a room get colder. So with it being a heat wave, and I mean, temperatures have been high as 30 degrees Celsius, so it's been even higher. Like, it's been warm, and I'm thinking that it could be possible that they've actually had the excess energy this week to draw more in and allow them to do that. And then the third thing, which is a little bit more unconfirmed, but there are some that believe that the lunar cycle actually affects paranormal activity. So when like the moon is full, there is lunar energy in abundance, and spirits can use this to move objects and do what it is they do. Now, that day, or at least at some point in this week, I think it might have been just coming out of it, but the moon has been full for the few days near this activity. I don't know if it was just coming out of that cycle on that night or if it was still full then, but the point is, it's possible that because the moon was full, it's given that extra energy, and then the heat wave and then the spirit box sessions, it's all kind of culminated in giving them all this extra energy, and they've wanted the attention. They've done things to make themselves known, and it's stuff that they didn't have the energy to do before. And it just interests me that these three things have synced up, and suddenly I've got activity in my kitchen again. So I'm thinking that going forward, I'm going to track the moon cycle and see if it does actually make a difference when it's full versus, when you've got a quarter moon or something like that. And as well as that, I'm going to also, monitor the temperature on the night as well, just to see if, if it's been warm through the day, has that affected it, that kind of thing. Just taking note of these things, because I think it's time now to move on. Like, I've caught things moving. I think I need to look at more the scientific approach to what could have caused the extra energy. Because I do believe in energy and I do believe in ghosts, so the only thing I can do now is really monitor the other factors around it to see if any of that's affected it as well. So that's what I'm thinking of doing anyway. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll post any and all activity as and when I get it.